Pinnacles National Monument is on Highway 25 south of Hollister. The trail we're taking today is Condor Gulch Trail. Goes up to the High Peaks Trail. We're not going to go all the way to the top. This is dry territory. Good to take plenty of water with you. The rocks have interesting coloration. The trees are very dry, interesting shapes. There are rock outcroppings all over the place on these hills. As you can see, these are fairly large. You can see the trees growing out of the top. Another trail nearby. Another larger outcropping with trees on the top. Much smaller relative to the size of this outcropping. Different shapes in different locations. Random pine cone. I call this parrot rock in the center, and there's a tree to the left. And we've arrived up at the top at Condor Gulch Overlook, about halfway up to the high peaks. Look back down the trail and see some folks coming up behind us. Wildflowers in the area of the overlook. Here's a small stream that comes down, and I would presume during the wetter times of the year provide a fairly decent show, going over the rocks and down in the valley below. We look to the east, we see some turkey vultures, a very common bird in these hills. These guys are using the slope currents, common on these hills. They're just soaring around. These birds are about a 5-foot wingspread, about half that of the California Condors, also known to be in the cliffs in this area. Here's a closer view of a turkey vulture. Notice his slightly unstable flight. A condor would be about twice his size and be much more stable in flight. And generally the wings are much straighter across, not the V-shaped. But the only big bird we saw this day was this jet heading from a northern California city like San Francisco, San Jose, or possibly Oakland, down to Southern California. Their route is usually over I-5, which is probably 10 miles to the east of us. My daughter and I decided to head back down the trail. And as we look back up, we see the people who are down below us have reached the overlook. And as we pan out, we can see how it is in relationship to the peaks behind it. You see some wildflowers along the way. Though very dry, there are still flowers growing all along these trails in the spring. Here we have an arrangement of some old dead wood and some flowers growing. Further along the trail we see this 20-foot or so high tree growing out of the rock. As we pan in, we see that the 8 or 10 inch trunk of this tree is actually growing out of the cleft in the rock. And as we approach the parking lot, we see a woodpecker doing his thing. And his friend here is flying over to work on another part of the tree. Pinnacles National Monument, the eastern section, Condor Gulch Trail.